Hello everyone, grand rising, happy Taurus full moon today. The energies are feeling clear and sensual for me, and hopefully they are feeling similar for you. I began filming for the Scorpio New Moon that was 2 weeks ago, and my throat chakra decided I was not done healing my cold. I had a coughing fit and then put it aside. So before I dive into the energies of this current full moon that we are experiencing today, I wanted to dip into, no pun intended, with the card I have in front of me here, but I wanted to dip into the energies of the Scorpio New Moon we had previously as well, because I'm still feeling that message is important to be shared, and it may still tap into today's message from the Taurus full moon. And Scorpio is misunderstood, I'm hearing a lot of the time, and truthfully, in my beginning of this journey, I also misunderstood the energy of Scorpio. But now that I know my own energy and I know my own self more, I am enamored by Scorpio. I am interconnected with it. Scorpio is my rising sign, and so I am just naturally of the way of the shadow. I don't know what that means necessarily, but one message that came through from the Scorpio new moon that I really wanted to share, with Scorpio being that deep, dark depth of astrology sign. It's a water sign, but it's not the water sign that hangs out on the shoreline. It's the water sign that hangs out with the crawfish or the prawn or whichever, the crabs that are walking on the bottom of the ocean, the bottom of our inner oceans as well. And with that being said, the message came through for Scorpio and its energies, and potentially still feeling it today for some of us, is this energy to dive within our depths to receive the treasures that are already ours. And one specific card from the Light Seers Tarot came forward with this, and I just saw 222, so if this is resonating for you, keep moving forward on this path. That's what 222 numerology angel numbers represents. And it was this card right here. It was the one that stood out to me for the Scorpio new moon that we had on November 1st. The Nine of Cups in tarot is connected to water. It's connected to our emotions, our feelings, our contentment, our satisfaction on a heart level. And you can see in this card that this woman, this being, she has dove within her own depths to reach her own treasure. This is where the surface of the water is in this card, and you can see that she's already dove down to the bottom of her own self-empowerment. This golden color connects to the solar plexus, which is your inspired action, your activation, your willpower, your confidence, your drive, your motivation comes from that area. The F yes I'm hearing comes from that area. And the Nine of Cups talks about those deep feelings of emotional satisfaction and contentment. Peace of heart is also coming through. And she's already dove down and kicked the chest open. And now that she has kicked the chest open, that you have dove down into your depths and kicked your own treasure open for yourself, all we need to do, and all we have ever needed to, I'm hearing, is to just allow ourselves to float to the surface with our dreams already surrounding us. I like to say, when this specific card comes through in a reading with clients, the analogy of, have you ever tried to kick or punch while underwater? You go nowhere. You just float in stasis, almost kicking and punching, maybe even choking, because if you're inhaling at the same time as you're kicking and punching underwater, you will inhale water. You will suffocate on your own emotions in a way. And but in turn, if you just kicked it open, unlatched that inner treasure of yours, and floated up to the surface with trust, knowing that when you reach that surface of your own self-empowerment and activation through that Scorpio New Moon we recently had 2 weeks ago, all of the dreams that have been freed from the treasure within your own heart will reach that surface. physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually for you in your life. If we just trust that when we have done the work to dive down into our depths, all we need to do is relax, trust, and float on up back. And that was a really powerful message that came through for the Scorpio New Moon, and I wish I had been able to share it at that time, but divine timing is beyond my human comprehension, and I know that it was just meant to be a part of this and not a part of that old video because it didn't come to fruition. And with that, let's shift gears to our present energy, which is the energy of the Taurus New Moon, and Taurus is connected to Venus, which is connected to goddess Aphrodite, which is love and abundance and beauty and pleasure and sensuality, which is why you might be feeling very sensual today. Maybe you're feeling very like you want to dress up a little bit. Maybe you're just feeling like your senses have come alive, and sensuality doesn't have to do with romance or love or even sexuality or intimacy. Sensuality is your senses. So indulge in your senses today is what the full moon wants us to know. And it also is asking us two very important questions that I continue hearing to bring forward to the collective conscious, which is, first of all, what is blocking you physically from allowing yourself to have physical comfort, abundance, love, and sensual expression in your life? What is blocking you? What do you feel is stopping you? What resistance do you feel in your heart is stopping you from accepting that which is already yours? I'm hearing the source really wants to make it very clear that it is already yours. So much so. It's like resonating, ringing through my inner space right now. It is already yours. The physical, sensual, love, beauty, abundance is already yours. The other question that came through with the Taurus full moon was a little bit of a shift on that similar question, which is, what comfort zone do you need to step out of to continue your expansion and your growth and your healing journey? We can get comfortable within the space that we've known for a while, or even that we've just dipped into recently, and you can still have the comfort, but the comfort zone is not where you're finding that comfort. I'm hearing the comfort zone is like this nicely lavish looking bed, but then you fold over the covers and it's got like broken glass inside of it. The comfort zone is a trap that keeps us in stagnant energy. And source and this Taurus full moon energy that is so full and clear and ripe, I'm hearing, is asking us to assess and evaluate where our comfort zone is that is blocking us from expansion, but also what resistance is coming up within us when we tune into the desires of our own heart, the longing and the birthright we have to abundance and prosperity, love, beauty, sensuality. What is blocking us from expansion and healing, and what is blocking us from stepping in and claiming what is truly ours for being just alive and human? We are entitled to enjoy our lives with peace, joy, and bliss. We are not here to suffer. We are not here to stagnate, I'm hearing. There are times of peace and rest for sure, but there is also times of charging forward. Taurus knows both energies. They know the energy of resting in the shade and having a good munch of grass, and they also know the energy of charging forward towards their goals or whatever, or through whatever obstacles are standing in their way. And this full moon really wants us to dip into those energies for our own highest good. I'm going to go into a tarot deck now to see what messages come through the cards for us in surrounding this Taurus full moon energy. Ooh, bouncy cards today. feeling this one. You, one more, and you. Actually, I'm hearing 4. Stability, balance. Taurus walks forward and rests on all 4 hooves. Alrighty. We have before us, ooh, the 10 of Chalices. This is such a beautiful little card. The 10 of Chalices is about those long-held, beautiful relationships, connections, friendships we have, where we can just bask in the glory and the gratitude and the love and appreciation of each other's presence. And it's just that simple, of just enjoying one another's energy in a state that's mutually connected, is deeply felt, deeply loving, definitely connecting into this Taurus comfort energy. But you know, it's interesting, even in this card, these two had to climb the tree to get to this beautiful supportive branch. And I'm hearing the source and this full moon saying to us that if you feel like you want to be up here, but you're down here, you have the strength of body, mind, and soul to climb whatever tree you are looking up at and wishing to be in the branches of. Next we have here, ooh, the Hanged Man. Interesting. This Hanged Man is a little bit of an interesting card because you can see that this figure is just stagnant in this water, and there's piranha down by his legs and feet and hands, and there's actually a little bit of blood in this card as well up at the surface. And whenever I pull this Hanged Man card, I get this message of go with the flow. Don't I just heard, and maybe this is for some of us, but I just heard your helping is not helping. Let go and let God. Because this hangman, if he were to even move a centimeter, he would be eaten to death by these piranhas. But because he is still, because he's just floating, interesting how this one's come up again, but as he's just floating, it's like the piranha surrounding this being aren't even aware that he's bleeding out or has an open wound around him because he is so still in these energies. And because he is just floating still in trust, he is able to just float on by past them without even them knowing that he was like ripe for the taking in the piranha's eyes. And what I see when I see this card a lot of the time is this energy or this visual of this being just floating in this water of life and source, and then suddenly it's like, oh, bump, you're at a different shore now, and all you needed to do was just float and trust, and the obstacles were cleared for you. And not necessarily with this hanged man, but I feel with all hanged man energies, as they have ingrained within the card, meaning this message of your life being flipped upside down. Maybe things feel out of sorts and uncomfortable for you right now, but it's this flip of your life. Maybe things have fallen on their head for you, or you've been flipped upside down through life experiences recently. This is a card that lets you know that this is a gift because it's given you a completely fresh and clear and full and ripe, like the energies of this full moon, given you a fresh perspective. It's a spiritual awakening that happens when we allow ourselves to just let go, float, and trust. And one of the messages of the hanged man that just resonates so deeply with my heart and soul that I just go, yes, when I hear it and I share it, is that we may feel our human avatar, our human expression may feel stuck, but we are still in divine flow. And does that not just feel like the most reassuring energy for us in this full moon, with everything transpiring around us and for us. To know that when we feel stuck as people, physically corporeal on this planet, we are still in divine flow. It is only the human that is stuck. The soul is never stuck. The soul is always in divine flow. But if we're trying to help, if we feel like we gotta do things, then we might get nipped, or we might let ourselves become bait. Then we have the Seven of Chalices. Interesting. So a lot of emotional energy and water coming through with this full moon. We have the Ten of Chalices, which is a water card. Then we have the Hanged Man, which is fully submerged in water. And then we have the Seven of Chalices, which is more emotional energy coming through. So this full moon might be, depending on where it is in your house, this full moon might be very emotionally charged for you, might be very intensely tapped into your heart center and your heart chakra, and you might feel very, like, gushing is the word that comes to mind for me when I tune into the energy of the heart chakra when it's in tune with this full moon. So you might feel like your heart wants to gush out with emotions, and if that's the case, then you might be tapped into the Seven of Chalices a little bit. And the Seven of Chalices is this energy when you feel like you have so many options or choices or things, desires, wants that are kind of like overwhelming your life right now, or your emotional state right now. And it's this message of, you got to trust that inner knowing. Trust your heart, trust your body, trust your guides, your source, to choose which is in the highest and greatest good. A little bit of message with this specific Seven of Chalices is you can see that there's a transparent snake in the front chalice. And this specific Seven of Chalices, because along with the Seven of Chalices, it's this energy of temptation as well, or maybe shortcuts that you feel, or maybe you're being illusionary guided to the outcome that you're wanting, or the desires that you wish for. But the transparency of his being belies the substance of its offer. And that is giving me spirit chills right now for some of us. So tap into your discerning heart and mind and unify those energies, and you will see clearly if the emotional offers or intuitive connections, feelings, desires that you are experiencing that are happening for you still are true, or if they are as transparent and unsubstantial as the serpent coming from the Seven of Chalices. And as someone who owns a snake and loves snakes, not all snakes, hashtag not all snakes, not all any snakes really, but this snake is transparent and see-through for a reason. So use your discernment during this full moon to really get to know your heart and your wants and your desires and your passions, so that you know that you are leading towards this beautiful connection and union and bond and friendship and love, and not towards maybe another piranha pool. And then we have the Three of Wands here, which seems really beneficial. I feel like the temptation of the Seven of Chalices is like, yeah, whatever. for some of us, and maybe this is a message that was needed to be heard, so that is clear on the table, as it were. And the Three of Wands is this energy of when you've put yourself out there, you've it can be as simple, it can be as physical as you've put out a piece of art, you've released a project, you've released an album, you've put yourself out there authentically somehow, in some way, whether that's physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. You have gifted yourself authentically to the energies that be. And now that you have done so, you can see that she has has connected all the 3 wands, and because of that, the energy is spiraling up, growing of its own source. And this is the message of that whatever you have put out of yourself, whether that's a physical project, whether that's an emotional connection, whether that's mental clarity, whatever you have put forth of yourself, given of yourself outward to your community, your friends, your family, your loved ones, that is being returned, that is coming back. This card inherently means that your rewards are coming through. You might have to do a little bit of active waiting or resting or meditation until you see them on the horizon, but the message has been sent and heard by source, and now it is coming through. And the traditional artwork for this card is coming through in the sense of it's usually a man standing looking out over the ocean, and he has his 3 wands around him, and in the background you can see little ships. And these little ships are his trading ships. He is a trader. He has sent out his ships to collect the trade goods, and now he sees them coming back on the horizon. So I'm hearing from source that this is your sign that whatever you have put out for yourself, of yourself, this is your sign that it is coming back, and within 3 weeks, I am hearing, you will be able to see it on your horizon. So trust that it is coming through for you. Okay, I feel like there's still some tarot cards wanting to come through in here. I'm actually going to go into my animal messages deck because I feel like Taurus itself is the bull, and let's see if any animal friends want to add into this message for us. Well, I think both of those want to come out, and I think you do as well. Oh, and I drop all the cards on the floor. No, I'm joking. Wouldn't be the first time. Okie dokie. So we have the spirit animals coming through for us with this Taurus full moon of owl coming through. Ooh, owl is also the moon in this tarot deck, which is a major arcana card. Major arcanas, just like the Hanged Man, I should also say, are milestones happening for you in your life. And this is either an inward shift, like trauma healing. That's a milestone. You get to claim that as a milestone. That's a milestone. Or this is an exterior happening event, occurrence that counts as a milestone. Graduating, getting married, starting a new relationship, starting a new job. Those are all milestones that you get to qualify and claim as milestones for yourself. Whether it's exterior or interior, it's still a milestone. You get to claim it that way. And the moon with owls are always an omen of change. And omens are not inherently negative. They are also positive. Just like karma isn't inherently negative, it is also positive. So this change coming through is coming through to you. And owl says it's coming through from your own wisdom of how to crack in. I'm seeing like the owl from if you're of around my age, maybe I'm completely dating myself and you guys are just blinking at the screen right now, but the old Tootsie Pop commercials from when I was a child, where like, Mr. Owl, do you know how long it takes to get to the center of the Tootsie Roll Pop? 1 lick, 2 lick, crunch. That owl energy is coming through, so it's very wise and discerning, but also kind of playful, which makes sense for this full moon being so sensual. And owl comes through with this message that it's coming through as you have invoked massive change for yourself, or you will be invoking massive change for yourself soon, potentially again within that 3-week window, through your own imagination and perception. That is amazing. That is basically manifestation. To be able to enact change within your life from your own imagination and perception, that is manifestation in a nutshell. And when you move forward with imagination, perception, and inner knowing, which is also connected to the moon, It's interesting that it's owl as well, because the moon is usually always at night, the darkest point of night. And I like to say with the moon, and maybe owl themselves does not have this problem with their keen sight, but us humans that don't have the eyesight of our animal companions, this is this message of, you know, when you are out for a late night walk and it is so pitch black outside you cannot see anything, and you're on your way home from that walk. You can't see with your physical eyes where you are in your neighborhood because that's how dark it is, and maybe that's how dark your life path has felt recently. But you use your inner knowing, your intuition, your imagination, your perception to guide your way back home, whether that's a physical house home or your heart home. Owl, intuition, magic, perception, imagination, it all leads back home. Then we have the 10 of acorns coming through with mule, or I want to call jackass is what he wants to be called. So, you know, I'm not here to question what the spirit guides want to call themselves. So jackass or mule or donkey, one of those three. And the 10 of acorns is connected to the 10 of wands traditionally, and the 10 of wands and the 10 of acorns. And of course it's mule and jackass coming through with this message. And it's like, because they're the pack mule. And the 10 of wands is very much the energy of the pack mule. It's when you, yep.
Sorry, are you recording?
Yes, but it's okay.
That's why I didn't know. There's a lady that she was waiting for half an hour, but she's run out of time.
Oh.
I was going to offer a 15 if you're finishing up.
Yeah, it can be fast.
Okay.
Sorry. Sorry about that. I am at Oracle right now as reader. So quickly finishing up here, 10 of acorns is this message from this full moon to unburden yourself. What is blocking you from ease, abundance, love, beauty? What is blocking you from accepting it? So 10 of acorns, mule, don't be the pack mule, don't be the jackass. Free yourself from the burdens. And he comes through with responsibility and dedication. And then we have here bison, which feels very similar to the bull, with the 8 of crystals. And the 8 of crystals is the 8 of pentacles, which is moving forward through passion, dedication, and grounding with your dreams, your desires, your hopes, your wants, so that you can get there. And knowing that when you invest that much dedication and progress into your heart's desires and your passions, they will manifest for you with that same energy that you have gifted to them. I'm going to just pull one last card because I do have a reading very soon, and that is showing us what we're manifesting already with this. I'm just going to go with the card on top, and that is psychic protection. And we have very balanced psychic protection. So know that whatever you're experiencing right now, you are protected through it. You are grounded through it. You are surrounded by your guides, your angels, by God, Goddess, universe, source, divine, whatever higher power you feel within your being is protecting you. And you can use this little saying here to call in the psychic protection even more so. And it says, around me now a shield of gold, protecting me strong and bold. All right, my friends, I need to leave this reading here. I have some clients that have been very patiently waiting for me. I hope this full moon is a blessing for you. I hope you are tuning into this clear, full, ripe, sensual energy that I am today. And I will see you in my next reading. Namaste. Bye.